Okay, next topic for discussion is applications of refraction of light. We will see some applications or consequences of refraction of light in our day-to-day life. Let us see one example. Suppose you are looking at an object which is kept in denser medium and the observer is in rarer medium. I mean, the object is in denser medium and the observer, one who looks at, is in rarer medium. How that object will be seen? Here I have taken an example. Suppose some water is taken in a beaker, okay, and outside medium is air. Means the combination I have taken is water, air medium. An object I am placing in denser medium. Suppose O is the object kept in the denser medium. O is an object, it can be a coin or stone placed under water. And a person looks at this object O from air medium. Imagine here is the observer. Observer is in air medium and object is in water medium. Okay, so this is, this is denser medium and this is rarer medium. And this is medium 1 and this is medium 2. Okay, let us see how the observer will see the object. For that, you have to draw you have to draw a light ray coming from the object and reaching in the eyes of the observer. I am drawing an oblique light ray. This is the light ray coming from the object. It passes through water, which is a denser medium. Then it comes into air, which is a rarer medium. Okay, and you have to draw the normal. This is the normal, and the ray will bend away from the normal since it is entering from a denser to rarer medium. So the refracted ray will go like this. This is the refracted ray. It enters into the eyes of the observer. Here I have drawn a single light ray. I mean incident ray and its corresponding refracted ray. This is the angle of incidence and this is known as angle of refraction. Okay, and when this light ray enters into the eyes of the observer, suppose here is the observer, where he will see the object. To find out that, you have to draw a perpendicular line. Draw it as a dotted line. You may keep it extended. Then this refracted ray you have to extend backward. With a dotted line. This observer will see the object at this position O dash only. That position seen by the observer we call as apparent position. Means O dash is called apparent position. And this O is known as real position. So O is the real position, but the observer sees the object O not at its real position, he sees at another position O dash. Okay, and suppose this point on the water level, I am marking it as A. The distance from real position O to the water level, I mean this distance OA is known as the real depth of the object. This is the real depth of the object. OA is the real depth. And the depth felt by the observer is O dash A. That is known as apparent depth. Distance from the real position to the water surface. That is known as real depth OA. This is the real depth, and this distance O dash A. What is the depth felt by the person? That is known as apparent depth. That means this observer sees the object little raised. Though the real position is O, the observer sees the object at a raised position O dash. He feels that object is closer to him, or the object is somewhere inside water. Though the object is at the bottom of the beaker, this observer sees it as little raised. And this distance, how far or how much distance the apparent position is raised, that we call as, that means O dash, is known as shift. The shift happened is the distance from real position to apparent position. This distance is known as shift. So once again, this distance we call as real depth, and this is the apparent depth felt by the observer, and this is known as the shift. Okay, so this is the conclusion. When this person looks at the object underwater, he is unable to see the object in its real position. Instead, he sees it in a raised position. Now, let us derive a formula to find out refractive index of this medium, first medium, by using this real depth and apparent depth. Okay, look at the diagram. This angle is I, angle of incidence. This is angle of refraction. In this diagram, this angle also can be marked as I because they are alternate interior angles. I hope you have studied the meaning of alternate angles, corresponding angles, vertically opposite angles, these terms in mathematics. So, since these two angles are alternate angles, they are equal. So, I am labeling this as I. Again, this angle can be labeled as R because these two angles are corresponding angles. Then, look at the triangle OA. This point I am labeling as B. Look at the triangle OAB. O here, A here, and B. Okay, this triangle OAB. What is sine I? Look at the triangle OAB. This is the angle I, and this angle is right angle. So sine I means it is opposite side by hypotenuse. AB upon OB. Opposite side by hypotenuse. Then from triangle O dash AB. This is O dash AB. You can write sine R is equal to. This is the angle R. This is right angle. So what is sine R? Opposite side by hypotenuse. AB by O dash B. Then let us find out refractive index by using the formula sin I by sin R. Here if you find out sin I by sin R, you will get refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. So refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium is sin I by sin R. That means sin I is AB by OB divided by sin R is AB by O dash B, and AB by OB into O dash B by AB. AB and AB cancel, so you got it as O dash B, refractive index of second medium, with respect to first medium you got as O dash B upon OB. Here we have taken B as the point of incidence. You may take any point as point of incidence. Okay, so suppose you are taking a point of incidence very close to A. I mean you assume this B is very close to A. Then O dash B will be equal to O dash A and OB will be equal to OA. So here you can write O dash B as O dash A and OB can be taken as OA. That means O dash A is known as apparent depth upon OA is known as real depth. So here you have a formula, refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. You can find out by the formula apparent depth divided by real depth. Then how can you find out refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium? Refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium, if you want to get, you can take the reverse of it, reciprocal of it. It is equal to real depth, reciprocal of this formula, real depth upon apparent depth. So this is the formula to find out refractive index of first medium, that is denser, with respect to second medium. If you want to find out refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium, formula is just reverse, apparent depth upon real depth. Okay, so either you remember this first formula or second one. Okay, so this is a derivation, it doesn't come in your syllabus, you have to remember the formula. So refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium is real depth upon apparent depth. Now, how to find out the shift? Already I told the meaning of shift, the distance from the real position to apparent position. This distance is known as shift. Then, from this formula, refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium is real depth upon apparent depth. Means refractive index of this denser medium is real depth upon apparent depth. Then from this formula you can write refractive index of this denser medium. First medium is denser, second medium is rare. So refractive index of first medium is equal to real depth upon apparent depth. Then what is apparent depth cross multiply? Apparent depth is equal to real depth upon refractive index of this denser medium. Okay, then how to find out the shift? Shift is actually real depth minus apparent depth. Shift means O dash, that is OA minus O dash A. That means real depth. Okay, for real depth I am using the symbol R here onwards, and apparent depth I will use the symbol A. R means real depth, A means apparent depth. So shift is equal to real depth minus apparent depth. Real depth minus apparent depth give the shift. Real depth is R, apparent depth is real depth upon refractive index, R by mu. Then R I am taking outside bracket, 1 minus 1 by mu Instead of mu, you may use the symbol n also in your book. N is the symbol used. Okay, since I use the same symbol mu, I will continue with the same symbol. So, shift is equal to R minus. This is the formula to find out shift, R minus 1 by refractive index. Okay, you may either use this formula or directly you can write shift is equal to, better you use this formula. For your syllabus, this formula is sufficient. Shift is equal to real depth minus apparent depth. Or another formula, real depth into 1 minus 1 by refractive index. Then this shift depends on certain factors. From the formula it is clear, the thickness of the medium, here the medium, denser medium, its thickness is the real depth actually. This thickness of the medium, that is known as real depth, R. So, more the thickness of this medium, more will be the shift. First factor. Shift depends on thickness of medium. Directly proportional. More the thickness of the medium, more will be the shift happening. Second factor, refractive index of the medium. In formula, refractive index also comes. Then, refractive index also decides the shift. And the relation is, refractive index is also directly proportional. That means, if this medium has high refractive index, high will be the shift happening. Look at the formula. Refractive index is high, means 1 by refractive index will be a low value. 1 minus a small number is almost equal to 1. So it is equal to R. Means shift will be almost equal to R. That means more the refractive index, more will be the shift happening. Then third factor, wavelength of the light used. That is inversely proportional. Okay, this light used, if it is of low wavelength like violet, the shift happening will be more. Less the wavelength, high will be the shift happening. For red color light, the shift happening will be low. Remember, wavelength of the light and the shift are inversely proportional. Then next point, let me discuss a question answer based on this third point, how the color or wavelength of the light determines the shift. Listen to the question. On a white paper, 7 dots are made with the different colors, starting with violet and ending with the red. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. 7 different colored dots are made on a white paper, and over this paper a glass block is kept. And you are looking from outside. Here glass is the medium and you are in the air medium. Means these are the objects. These 7 dots are the objects. Object is in denser medium, observer is in the rarer medium. And the question is, where the observer will see these dots. You know, due to refraction, their position will be shifted. You can't see them in its real depth. You will see these dots raised. Shift will be there. And the question is, will the shift happening to these 7 dots be same or different? Just now I discussed its theory. Violet color, from this dot, violet light will be coming since it is colored in violet. From this dot, red light will be coming. Less the wavelength, more will be the shift happening. Violet light, among the 7, violet light has the least wavelength, so its shift will be maximum. Means this violet dot will be seen at B dash. Indigo below that, I dash. Blue again below. That means these 7 dots will be seen in different level. Though the real position is in same level, the shift happening to different colors are different. Violet will have maximum shift, red will have the minimum shift. So they will not be seen. The observer will not see the dots in same level. He will be seeing it in different level. Let us see an example. Here there are 3 different optical media having different refractive indices. mu1, mu2, mu3 are the refractive indices of 3 different optical media, and the real depth of them are D1, D2 and D3. And O is the object kept under the at the bottom of these 3 optical media. What will be the apparent shift happening to this to the position of this object? How will you find out? The formula for apparent depth is real depth upon refractive index. Real depth, that is D1 for this medium, and refractive index is mu1. So apparent depth caused by 3 different optical media is the sum of the apparent depth caused by these 3 media. So the total or the final apparent depth will be real depth upon refractive index D1 by mu1 plus D2 by mu2 plus D3 by mu3. This is the way to find out the apparent shift. So the example which we discussed, the object was in denser medium water and the observer was in rarer medium, that is air. In that case, apparent depth was less than the real depth. Okay, now let us see the reverse case. Object in rarer medium, observer in the denser medium. For example, a fish underwater looks at a tree outside. Fish is the observer in denser medium, tree is the object in rarer medium. In that case, real depth will be less, apparent depth will be more. That means the fish will see the tree not in its real height, it will be seen taller. So when the object is in rarer medium and observer in denser medium, in that case apparent depth or height will be greater than the real depth. One more example. A boy looks at an aeroplane. You know, the boy is unable to see the aeroplane in its real position due to refraction of light. Its apparent position will be seen. Okay, so the object means you might have studied in geography about the difference in the air density. Air density varies as you go higher and higher. Okay, different layers of air is having different density. The lowermost layer has the highest density. As you go higher and higher, density is going on decreasing. So aeroplane, it is in rarer medium compared to the observer. Observer is in denser medium. So the light rays coming from the aeroplane passes through different air layers, then refraction happens. So the boy is unable to see the aeroplane in its real position. He sees it in its apparent position. Okay. And here, since the observer is in denser medium, object is in rarer medium, the apparent depth or height will be greater than the real depth. Then let us see some more examples for this refraction of light. The twinkling of stars is caused due to refraction of light. Stars are not twinkling. We feel like twinkling because of the refraction of light. The stars, here I am making the symbolic diagram. Remember these are the different layers of air, and here is the star. This person looks at the star. The light coming from this star, see I am drawing a single light ray. It is entering from a rarer medium to denser medium. So the light ray, when entering from rarer to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Like this, several refractions will happen. There are many air layers between the observer and the star. Here I have shown what happens when light enters from one layer to the next layer. And this process is repeated. So finally, after a large number of refractions, light is reaching in the eyes of the observer. And you know, this air is not a rigid matter, it moves. According to the movement, this refracted ray also fluctuates, its path fluctuates. So sometimes the light rays coming from the star enters into our eye, then we see the star. Sometimes due to air movement, this ray goes out of sight, then we can't see. So due to this effect, we feel that stars are twinkling. So the scientific reason behind the twinkling of stars, it is refraction. Then a swimming pool, when you look into a swimming pool or to any water body, its depth what you feel is not the real depth. You see it as you may see the swimming pool as shallow, means the real depth you will not be able to understand. You see it as with less depth. Then another example, the twilight. Twilight means the light reaching on earth before sunrise, and the sunlight remains on earth after sunset. That is known as twilight. It is also due to refraction. Okay, the sun may go below horizon, but the sun rays, sun might have gone below horizon, still the sun rays reach on earth due to, suppose here is the location of earth. Okay, due to refraction, the light rays bend and reach on earth even after sunset. Same way before sunrise also, due to refraction, sun rays are reaching. The light reaches on earth before, sunlight reaching on earth before sunrise or after sunset is known as twilight. Its scientific reason is refraction of light. Another example, if you immerse a stick or pen obliquely into water, it appears bent and short. If you look at the portion of the pen under water, you see it as bent and also short. Its reason is also refraction. Okay, let me show it with the diagram. Here is a beaker containing water. Imagine you are immersing a stick obliquely into water. I am naming the stick as A, B, C. So A, B, C is the ABC is the stick or pen which is obliquely immersed into water, and a person looks at the portion of the stick under water. You know, the portion AB is in air medium, portion BC is in water medium. When the observer looks at this portion BC, this portion BC will be seen short and bent also, as I showed just now. Its reason is refraction of light. As the light rays coming from this portion AB reaches in the eyes of the observer by traveling through a single medium, that is air. But the portion BC of the stick, from there the light coming, first travels through water, then enters into air. So refraction will happen. I will show it with a single light ray from the bottom point of the stick, a light ray, oblique light ray. It undergoes refraction. You know the light ray deviates away from normal since it is entering from a denser to rarer medium. Okay, then you extend. This light ray enters into the eyes of the observer. Okay, then he will see this point somewhere else. To find out that this ray entering into the eyes of the observer, you have to extend backward. Okay, then from the same point C, draw one more oblique light ray and its refracted ray. Extend this refracted ray also straight backward. Here it meets C dash. So the end of the stick C will be seen by the observer as C dash. Same thing happens with every point. So he will see the stick, the portion BC will be seen as BC dash. So the real stick is ABC, but the observer will see the stick as ABC dash. Means the portion under water BC will be seen as BC dash. This is due to refraction of light. So these are some effects of refraction in our day-to-day life we observe.